Hi friends, today I will show you how to operate the Leo tracker. First of all, how to open it by clicking on the link in the desktop version, and then how to operate and how to add the new incidents and how to update whatever the existing incidents are there. What are the WBR, CBR points are there, how you have to update and in what cell you have to update and how precisely you have to update in the short, so that we can understand that what is the weekly progress on this. So just be with me. I will give you a step by step procedure about this. So first of all, we'll open the link here. So I will give you the link. Once you click on the link, you will see that the tracker is open here, but this is an online version. Don't if you press the button here, it will not work because this is a completely online version. What you have to do, you have to go here, then the edit, and then you click in the open desktop. Once you click here, then it will ask you just make it yes, and then it will open the actual desktop version. It will take few seconds because it will auto adjust the rows and everything. And now you can add, now you see that these are the number of blank column is already there, so you don't need to do anything. You can just update here, and you can mention your whether it's an incident or WBR point or whatever. So mostly you have to put an incident or the new project, right? Because this weekly review, DPW, QBR, CBR, this is already there and you have to update there. So how to add the new row? You have to just first remove the filter if any filter is there, and then you just simply click on this red button, so it will add the new row for you. If row is already available, you can use that. If row is not there, you can add new row and then you can update. So now the new row is created here, and you can start updating here. Okay, now let's say that this is already I have selected. If this is the incident, I have to select the incident, and you have to mention whatever the descriptions are there. For example, there is a water leakage in the Pahu line of ground floor. This is just an example. Okay, then you have to put a dates and time which you know already. Here, if you know what is a plant closure date, then you can mention it. If plant closure date is not available, you can keep it blank. Here the action owner is very important, because whosoever is SME for this low side mechanical work, that name they have to select. For example, let's say if I am a SME, so I will put my name. If this is a fair air vendor, so I will mention if it is a fair air is there or not. Okay, so this vendor is already there. Then you have to put your action plan very brief, like vendor visited the location and arrest the leakage temporarily. Final action is still not decided. This is how you can mention, and you can put the date here. This is what your update is. Then if this issue is open, so you can make it open, and then if it is still not closed, so you can leave the remarks. When it is closed, you close with the remarks that issue resolved and system normalized. Like this way you can do it. In which ship managers this happen, that they have to mention their name. Okay, if it is a C3, C1, C2, whatever you have to mention, you put your incident number and all this. Then other details very well, that whatever the details has been asked, when it was created, when it was partner came, what is the result date, everything you put it, then you will start getting the data. For example, we have created these incidents on the same, let's say 24, and then this issue was in my shift, for example. Then partner log on the 24th of July. Okay, 24th of July at 18 hours. So you can mention that this is what time it is attended. So you can mention that 24th July and 19 hours it was attended. So it is within a 1 hour the vendor has responded. it is resolved on, let's say on 26 today, if it is resolved for example, so you can mention today it is resolved. So then you will get that 50 hours was a resolution time, and in age you can mention it is a 2 days. So this is how you will get. Now if RCA is applicable, yes, RCA is applicable. RCA is submitted, if no, then mention no. Then you will also get that RCA aging is also 1.57 days so far, like that. And then all these things, whatever green are there, that try to mention all the details, so it will help you later on. And these are the blue which are Arun's tracker, so that will also help you if you will put it details here. In later on you don't need to fill double tracker, right? And these are the optional thing, so it's not mandatory, and these are the already a log thing, so you don't need to do anything here. That's how you can update your incidents. For example, now you have already received the RCA, so you can permanently close it, and you can also mention here that issue resolved, RCA received and submitted to customer and CSM, like that. Whatever the update is there, you can mention the update. And here you mention that RCA submitted, then you mention that yes, RCA submitted, and after that you mention final RCA submitted on which date, like yes, and which date. Let's say it's a today we have submitted, so you just mention today's date, that it has been submitted on so and so date. So this is how you have to completely maintain open. Then first of all it should be incident open, then incident will now close the RCA, follow-up actions are there, and then finally you can mention if there is any follow-up action, then also some actions are there, you can like it is a follow-up action, and then you can mention that what follow-up actions are there. Like then some follow-up actions are there, let's say you have to check all the PAHUs, so you can mention follow-up actions, all PAHUs host to be checked. So then don't close it, then it will still remain here and you will get the update also, right? And there is no follow-up action, then you can finally permanently close it here. So this is how you have to update this, number one. Also you have to filter it here like AWS WBR, and then you see that what the update you can mention. For example, this is a particular incident which is Gajanan is owner and it is open. First of all you have to filter it here open also. So now Gajanan is the owner for this because its name is mentioned here, and plan closure date is not there, but we know that it's a second of it's a very old issue, but now we need to put an update because recently we know that here the SLA got violated. So here you update like whatever the update we have, that update we have to keep mentioning. Like 14 July we mentioned that this is what the update. Now further we can mention here that this is a 26th July and glacier room temp T plus RH issue is still not resolved. RH is near to the border, something like whatever the update is there. If matter is pending with GTO or vendor, you please mention whatever is there. So don't just keep it here like that. You have to update every week, or wherever the update comes you have to update it and make the latest update on the top, so it is easy to go through it. So say like that, that's why you have to update all your WBR applicable points, right? Like here the DC6 team is there, so they have to update their thing here, that whatever the update is there. I can see that there is no update recently. All update which I have made on the last 10 days back, 14th July, same update is still there, so nobody is actually updating here. So that's, I request that please update this tracker so that CSM can also take it here, and you will not need to go to the meeting with them, and they can just automatically filter it here and they can update the things. So that is very important. Similarly for DPW WBR also, you update whatever the update is there, and you have to mention your update here, and likewise this tracker will be fully updated. Now for example, if some new project you have to create, like let's say DC9 wants to track the action for the this one. So let's say we have created new project. What is that? That rectification of HSD pit 3. This is my new project. Okay, and when it was created, I know it was created on last 15th of July. So let's say 15th July is my date, and I want to close it in next, let's say 2 months. So I will mention that 15th September I will close this. Now who is action? Action is, let's say it's a Bharat Patil of DC9. So Bharat Patil is a person. Now who is a vendor? So we need to put a right vendor. Currently it is a Sterling and Wilson, but Sterling and Wilson is not going to execute. So if new vendor is going to come, we need to add the new vendor here. For example, this is a vendor list. We need to add the new vendor here, and like that way we can do. I can remove the password and then you can add the new vendor. For example, let's say there is a new vendor. So I will remove the password, and now you can see, let's say that there is a precision engineering, okay, for example. So then you have to set the vendor precision engineering. Okay, now here you can mention whatever is this. Now you can mention here that Sterling has visited but refused to carry out civil work. They are only ready to work for piping and rest of the things. Then we can mention the second vendor, precision engineering, visited and they shared offer for 45 lakhs for complete job. Then so whatever the update is there, you mention it here, right? So then we can and then this issue is still open. So you have to create, here is the open, that this is the open issue. So this is the open, and then you put a date here. This is every date you can update here, like this update is up to, let's say I put this update on 26 July. Then after this 2-3 days, if there is few more update is there, so you can mention that 31st July 26, and this is the update. There you can mention whatever the update is there, like that. So similarly you have to create the you have to mention the update here, and all your projects, whatever the projects you have, all the projects you have to run it here, so we can have a clear idea that what is happening in which DC. So I can see in weekly report you mention many things, but if I see the tracker, there is nothing. So there is a HVAC project is going on, mechanical projects are going on in the multiple data centers, battery replacement is going on, then the radiator rectification project is going on. But if customer has raised this point, that is there, but we are also supposed to create a project and we can track it here, so that at least we can have a precisely, and then DC manager or site lead can decide that who is a SME for this, who will handle this issue in his team, and his team, his responsibility that he has to regularly update, he has to take the all escalation metrics from this, and he has to call the vendor and he has to update all the things. So that is an expectation here. So if you do this, then it will be easy for everybody. So that is the main purpose here, that I have doing this video recording, so that at least you can understand what is the significance of this.